Good morning and welcome to another vlog. In this vlog I will go into details when it comes to marketing, and that is because a lot of you have asked me about how do you do when it comes to marketing. So I would like to say that the first thing about how to brand yourself, and also in combination with the company, is to do some lectures. So that is what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to have a lecture, held a lecture for a lot of different persons in the building construction area, and more precise, this is about I would say a conference about how new offices should be built and how you should use new offices in a better way to I will say to not have any space in the building which is not rented out. And for that reason, of course, lighting is also a good idea to speak about, because lighting is a really high cost. When it comes to these larger offices, you need a lot of lighting and it has to be energy efficient, so you are able to save some money. Sorry about the bad sound, there's a lot of wind here in Copenhagen today. But yeah, let's flip it to the conference, and then later I will go into details with marketing. I told you that I wanted to go into details with marketing, and this is the vlog. If you want to see how you were able to do marketing in a really good way, then I will go through this in this vlog. So basically what you need to understand about marketing, first of all, is that you have to know your customers. That's so important, because if you do not know your customers, then you do not know how to make a really good marketing plan for your company. So first of all, and that is also when we're speaking about the business plan, of course, you will also, if you have that already, that's more easier for you, because then you already know your customers. So first of all, as I mentioned, know your customers, segment them in different categories. Like for me, I have, let's say, contractors, I have architects and engineers and so on, just to mention a few. And then I also have some business to business. And those are different companies which are segmented in different categories. If you know your customers, you are able to move further. And for that, I have just listed a few things here, and I want to go into details about that. So when you are speaking about your customers, for instance, architects and contractors, I have noticed that those are typically in between 30 to 44 in my case, and those are the persons that we want to target. And then I have to find out who are those persons and how can I target them in the best way. So that's pretty much what you do in the different segments. And then I can go through that. We have another thing to say when we're speaking about knowing your customers, you also know where to play. And where to play is pretty much which sort of social media you should use and how you should do it when we're speaking about directly marketing as well. And what I do in our company and what we do in our company is that we have a marketing strategy, and then we have set up the different platforms that we are using. And we are using, for instance, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and also a few other smaller social medias. And you will have to use, I will say, most of them to find out what works best for you. But we have found out that Snapchat, for instance, doesn't work so good for us, because we are into business to business, and that's for our view not the best platform to use. So that is where to play. And you can split it up in two different ways, and I want to draw that on a whiteboard so you have an idea. So when we're speaking about where to play, you have to separate it in two different categories, the direct and the indirect. And I want to draw that for you just so you have an idea. First of all, the direct and the indirect. There we go. So on this side here where we have the direct, it could be phone, it could be like you have some events, customers wins, and it could be different other things. Like for instance, I just have to see my notes here. We have some presentations. I do a lot of presentations where we want to tell presentations. There we go. To tell our customers about the new things about, in this case, LEDs. So this is pretty much the direct. This is where you try to have directly contact to the customer, and on the other side we have the indirect, and that could be social media. There we go. And that could also be segmented into, let's see here, we also have affiliates, which is affiliates. There we go. So if we just start out with the social media, you already might know that there's a lot of different platforms, and I can just tell you a few things, and we can split it up in, let's say, LinkedIn. There we go, LinkedIn, whoops, and Facebook, and then we also have Instagram. Yep, and we have Twitter. This is just to mention a few. There might also be other things that you, other social medias that could be interesting for you. So basically what you do is that you find out the strategy for LinkedIn, you find out for Facebook, and you find out for Instagram and Twitter. I will not go into details with all of them because otherwise this vlog will take probably around 5 hours. So I only tell you a few things about the different medias, and then you can comment down below if you have any questions. So first of all, LinkedIn, what I have found out and what we have found out in my team, of course, is that LinkedIn works okay for us. It is business to business that we are selling, so LinkedIn is perfectly, and you are able to segment your different ads quite good, so you were able to reach the right customers. On Facebook, it's pretty much the cheapest way to communicate in this moment that I'm standing here. You were able to do Facebook ads, and that's really cheap. You can target the right persons, and you are able to do that through a really low amount. When we go to Instagram, it is for a lot of companies maybe a social media which might be a bit more. We are not believing in this could be a good solution for our company, but it is really a good solution for a lot of companies, even though the company owner who might not think it is. So what's good about Instagram is that you are able to communicate and use different sorts of methods to get in touch with larger users on Instagram, and that is called different. You can DM, of course, the different people, and you can also use influencers. And influencers is pretty much how that works. Is, let's say you have your real estate, and you want to get in touch with the people in that business, then you can get in touch with an influencer, which might, I just mention Boss Homes as a user, which has around, I think it's 1.3 million right now. And then you can get in touch with those by DM that person who are in charge of that page, and they can do a shout out for you, and then you can get some followers and hopefully also some new customers. So I believe Instagram is a really great tool, and we use it a lot. Right now we have on our normal sim on our normal sim user, we have around 70,000, and we have got a lot of customers. So that works perfectly. On the other hand, we have Twitter, and we also use that segment as a great tool. And what we use the most here is Facebook and Instagram. And Twitter is not so much, but we are using it for traffic on our website. What you have to look for here on this side over here with the direct is that you have the website where you have a lot of different text, pictures, and so on. What you need to do is that you need to have traffic to that website, because, and also for the affiliates, I'll come back to that later, but you need to have the traffic through the website, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. If you have a website, of course. So that's pretty much it. When we're speaking about the affiliates, I just want to point out a few. it is really important that you try to find the right platforms to be involved in when we're speaking about what you are selling. Could be service, could be products. So affiliates, for our point of view, we are in the building sector. For that reason, we want to be on websites. They have a lot of audiences who wants to know about what's happening in the building sector. And for that, we're using right now a website called Building Supply, which is, there we go, Building Supply, which is a website. They're having a lot of news. And we are paying not so much for that, and then we get the traffic for Building Supply directly to our website. So this is basically something that you pay for, and there could also be a lot of other things. But you have to look for those websites, because if you are able to find the right websites which have potential customers for you, and you can upload some news from your company, then you can get the traffic directly into your website and generate some orders. So that's pretty much it. And do not forget that the direct, it's always working. You know, having a directly phone call to a potential customer is always working, but you need to have those two set up together so it will work better. Because if you just say you don't want to have the indirect, then it will not work in this time that we are living in right now. And on the other hand, the direct is not working if you do not have the other one. So it's basically how it is. So let's move up again to the couch. So that was basically how you should look at a marketing strategy just in the beginning. And I can tell you that if you have it, if you segment the different directly sales, and if you also are looking into the indirect and that match perfectly, then you have a good start. So what you need after that is to have it completed, right? Because a lot of people are getting these really fancy marketing strategy plans, but they are not, they're just sitting with the papers afterwards and do not know how to do it. And what I will say about that is that if you do not have so many money in the beginning as an entrepreneur, you can try to find people who are starting, and that's a great way to do it. Because if you want to not use so much money but want to have a new talent, then you can save a lot of money, and you are also able to have some people who actually are learning a lot to be in the company, and also are generating some knowledge, and that's a good thing. So that's a win-win situation. What I can say about the marketing when we're speaking about social medias, it is so important that you have the budget as well, so you know how many money you should use on that. And you cannot come through that if you post something on social media, you need to use some money to promote it in a better way in the beginning. Otherwise, it will not work. Because a lot of people think that they will get audiences like this, but it's not working like that on Facebook, for instance, and Instagram as well. You need to use some money before you can get some audience and a fan base. So that's it. And also goals. It is so important that you have goals in your marketing strategy, because otherwise you will not be able to see where should we go, right? So what we have done in our marketing strategy is that in the last year we set up a goal on Instagram. We needed like 12,000 followers on Instagram, and we had a goal of I think, let me check here just to be sure that I'm not saying something incorrect. We had a goal of 1,500 likes on Facebook, and that was okay. But right now we are a little bit behind, because for 2017 I can see that our goal is to have 7,500 likes on Facebook, and right now we have 2,500 likes. And what that means is that on our marketing meetings we have to find solutions where we can generate more likes. And that leads me to say that these meetings are goal for your company. A lot of companies, and not to mention any names, but there's a lot of larger companies who are not taking those meetings seriously, and that's a big problem, I think, because You, as an entrepreneur, and if you're a smaller company and let's say just a middle-sized company, you can navigate through the larger companies really fast, and you can implement new social medias faster than anyone else, right? So take that advantage and move forward. So what I will say about these meetings, it is gold because you were able to follow up on the KPI values, numbers, which is, let's say you want to see how much interaction you have got from Facebook, you know, how many of those people who have watched the video have clicked through Facebook and on the website and so on. And also if you have some SEO going on, then you're able to see how many people who actually have clicked on the website and so on, right? So on these meetings you follow up on all the different KPI values, and you follow up on new competitions if you have that, and follow up on a lot of other things. And by doing so, you will have, as a leader in your company, a really good knowledge about what's happening in the both the market and also in your own company, and through that you will have a successful marketing strategy in your company. So that's basically what you have to do. I think not there will be so much more to say than you have to understand when you build up a marketing strategy for your company. It is so important that you have to know that it's not happening through next day, right? And it's not happening through maybe a year. It might happen for some people who have just invented a really great idea, or that could be a really great product as well. But it takes some time, and it's also taking some time for me as well for this vlog to come out to people so they know the value of it. So everything takes time, and that's so important to understand when we're speaking about marketing as well. You can use a lot of money, but you can also waste a lot of money if you do not know the audience first of all. So that was basically what I wanted to tell you about a marketing strategy. I could go into a lot more details, and what I just wanted to tell you in the last part here is that I am not a marketing person at all. I have learned this by myself, and we have hired a person who also have been involved in the marketing. And that just leads me to say to you that everyone is able to learn a lot through the internet these days. So you just have to look on YouTube and follow the persons who are into marketing, and then you can do a marketing strategy for yourself as well. I have tried to do some different sorts of lectures here down below on the whiteboard, and I hope you like that. And if you do have any comments and any questions, then please leave them below, and I will try to answer them as good as I can. So thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Bye.